Welcome to a new episode of Unstoppable, a series showcasing women turning hardships into opportunities. Council Member Fani-González, thank you for being with us today. What inspired you to step into leadership?
It was not planned at all. It's not like I woke up one day and I said, I'm gonna become a leader. It did not happen that way. I was always very involved in my community. And when I was in high school, I came to the United States when I was 16 years old. I did not speak English. I did not have a social security number. I wasn't an American citizen. So I struggled a lot. My mom, I came with my mother, and I had to help her by cleaning houses with her on the weekends while I was going to school during the week. And so that experience really shaped me to be the way I am today. I was living in Langley Park, Lone Branch. It's that neighborhood. It's in the border of Montgomery County and Prince George's County. So I had to take the bus for 2 hours from Langley Park all the way to Chevy Chase to clean houses. 2 hours each way because you had to take like three different buses. And that experience of like not seeing sidewalks or waiting for the bus to arrive on time or just barely making enough to eat and having to help my mom because if it had not been for me helping her, there's no way we could have paid the rent. Um, so that just and then learning English at the same time. Um, all those issues that were challenges really helped me become who I am today. And that inspiration of being a leader, as the question you posted, um, just like struggling and stepping up and seeing obstacles not as a way to not move forward, but as opportunities to overcome. And just having that mindset that things are not gonna come to you easy. You need to step it up, and also it's not just about you, but also helping people who are in your same situation. Just having that happen to me so early on in life helped me to be the person I am today. And just now helping people is, I just feel very passionate about it. It's kind of like my calling. Like I have been training to be this way from since I've been so young that it's just it comes natural for me at this point.
Can you share a time when you turned a hardship into an opportunity?
When I applied to become an American citizen, to gain my citizenship, I was born in Venezuela. So the first time I applied, I was denied. And it had nothing to do with me, is because my application was attached to my mother's. And the way my mom was able to have a green card, which is the residency that you get before you become a citizen, she got it through marriage. And but she got divorced like 6 years after she got married, and the minimum was 5 years. So when they saw my application coming in, they said, "Well, you probably shouldn't be a citizen because your mom got divorced like as soon after she was eligible to become a citizen." And so how that affected me, although I don't have a criminal record, like I have been a really good person all the time. But the day nine, it was so bad that they placed me in deportation proceedings. That means that it wasn't just like I couldn't be a citizen. It's like I was being kicked out of the country, and I only had 2 months. So that imagine somebody telling you you had to leave the nation and or your belongings, like everything I own a condo at that point. Um, so it was like I was really depressed. Let me just say that to you. Um, but I took that as an opportunity, which is part of your question. I reached out to Chris Van Hollen. Back then he was Congressman Chris Van Hollen. Now he's Senator Chris Van Hollen. And I said, this is happening to me. I need your help. And then I reached out to CASA. I reached out to high school students, like friends of mine, and teachers that met me in high school who could testify as a person that had good moral character. And long story short, um, I went to see an immigration is it's called magistrate instead of a judge. And I usually you bring a lawyer when you see a judge. In my case, because I didn't have the money, the attorneys were charging me $20,000. I said, I'm just gonna go on myself. This is a folder with a whole bunch of letters of recommendations from students and teachers and people who knew me who said that I'm a good person. If the magistrate, which is a judge, that's another word for it, if the judge says you need to go away, then I leave the country. But if I show my case and they say that you can stay, then I'll stay. So I walked in without an attorney. The first letter on my folder was the one from Chris Van Hollen. And then I had teachers and students, and then the judge said to me, you know what? I think you should stay in the US. What are you doing this afternoon? And I said, nothing that I can change. He said, come back and I'm going to swear you in as an American citizen. And I woke up that day thinking that I was going to be deported, and I went to sleep the same day as an American citizen.
Have you ever been underestimated? How did you respond?
Yes, especially because I have an accent. Now you can hear my beautiful accent because English is not my first language. So people make assumptions when they hear me, and but then when they pay attention and they understand and they let me like make my case, I can see when they change their mind. But the first impression is always hard because people just listen to the accent and they just make assumptions. Um, that happens often, pretty much all the time, to be honest with you. And I don't even think I have a thick accent, but I do have an accent. Um, and at this point, I'm used to it. I expect it, and I use it as my superpower because I'm thinking I speak more than one language.
What are the biggest challenges in our community right now, and how can we address them?
I will say affordability and cost of living. Um, Houses are very expensive in Montgomery County. The average price of a house in Montgomery County is $1 million. Yet the salaries are not increasing fast enough. So there is a need of creating more housing, but housing for people of all income levels. And that's an area that I'm very focused on.
Which is one project you're working on right now that you're especially excited about?
Well, one project I'm working on right now, the budget. So I'm the president of the county council, and we're voting on the budget in a few weeks, and that's keeping me up at night. So the question is, are we gonna increase taxes on families to be able to have a balanced budget? That's what the county executive is recommending. But I see it in the opposite way. I think if you increase taxes right now when there's so much uncertainty, especially from the federal government, I don't think that's a solution. So on Friday, 2 days from now, I'm submitting a memo to my colleagues telling them how can we have a balanced budget without increasing taxes. So stay tuned because it's going to be all over the news. It's going to be very controversial. But that's what leadership is about. You make tough decisions, not because you want to be famous, but because you want to do the right thing.
How can young people get involved in your work, and why does community involvement matter?
Students, young people, they testify, they come to public hearings, and I love when people like you're coming and talking to me, learning about what I'm doing. So I'm hoping that you spread the word because that's a great way to learn what's happening in your community and just get involved.
How can girls and young women become unstoppable like you?
I think you gotta follow your heart and you gotta follow and do it with integrity, with honesty. Because at the end of the day, if you do and focus on things that you truly believe, then I'm telling you, things will happen because people around you, they can feel the energy, they can feel the passion, and they feel that they care. And at the end of the day, it's up to all of us to build a caring community. And I think girls, especially because women, we have this instinct. We're the ones who make change and transform communities. So I hope the little girls who are listening to this interview understand that they need to believe in themselves because when they care and they believe in themselves, that's all they need to make things forward.
Thank you for being with us today.
You're very welcome. Ciao, Bella.
Please subscribe for more stories.